Olá, Henrico. Vamos fazer a avaliação do seu exercício número 4. Primeiro, eu abro o seu exercício através do próprio local de armazenamento das informações do nosso curso. Nós temos aqui você e o Paulo. Você, 410, 420, que são as versões dessa unidade. 410. Login, senha, login and password. Então nós vamos ter aqui o seu exercício. E nós temos do lado esquerdo 12 elementos para serem verificados. O primeiro é, existe o pacote in English. There is the logistics work package inside the WBS. Então a gente abrindo aqui encontra a WBS, encontra o trabalho do projeto, o trabalho indireto, o trabalho direto, e agora temos uma composição dentro da estrutura, não dentro do projeto. Pode não ser um trabalho do projeto, mas nós temos um trabalho de logística. Olhando aqui no modo 100, o primeiro modo é o modo 100. Deixa eu verificar aqui. Não, é o modo 59. Modo 59. Banana Curve. A curva da banana, ela mostra não em relação à logística. O primeiro ponto nós já identificamos, ok. Encontramos o pacote logístico. A curva da banana. A curva da banana é um layout que você apresenta. E aqui eu não sei de onde é. Então nós deveríamos ter aqui a origem. From where it came from. Por quê? Porque pode ser do trabalho direto, pode ser do projeto, mas é que eu tenho a sensação de que você fez o que era previsto. O custo total, vamos ver o custo total. Custo total, total cost. Total cost. Total cost é cost center. Cash flow, total cost, ok. ASAP, as soon as possible, e ALAP, as late as possible. Essa região, você pegou da obra. Veja, você pegou da obra. Você não pegou do projeto todo. Pelo desenho, eu consigo entender que o total cost e o total cost ALAP foram extraídos do direct work, do trabalho direto. Deixa eu colocar aqui, 300, e aqui eu digo que é indireto e direto. Porque eu desde o começo encontro valores. Aqui é na proposta week. E aqui é na proposta week. Então o que nós temos aqui, a curva da banana, tem o objetivo de dizer do projeto todo ou do trabalho direto. Então aqui já ficou claro, direct work. O exercício pedia total project expenditure. Total projects, então, é total projects. Total projects. And not just for direct work. Mas a ideia você entendeu. E aqui você tem, o mais cedo possível, eu tenho um gasto que tem esse perfil. Gasto mais cedo. E esse aqui é um perfil gasto mais tarde. Mas, analisando isso aqui, o objetivo desse tipo de visualização é entender que o seu projeto tem uma previsão de consumo. de novo, tem a previsão de consumo. E ele sai do zero e vai até o final, passando por um perfil de gasto. E você entende que quanto mais cedo você gastar, mais rápido você faz, porém, você gasta as suas reservas mais cedo. Enquanto que se você faz o mais tarde possível, você define um espaço geométrico, como se fala na engenharia, onde você pode ter o seu projeto período a período. Estou aqui e vou terminar projetado aqui. Estou dentro da proposta do plano. Mais adiante, você encontra um comportamento aqui, projetado, ele me leva aqui. Estou dentro da proposta do plano. Mais adiante no tempo, chego aqui. Veja, avaliação número 1, avaliação número 2, avaliação número 3, projetando, ele me leva aqui. Deixando mais claro. Projetando, ele me leva aqui. Eu não estou mais dentro do plano. Plano, fora do plano. Então a curva da banana vê onde eu estou e projetando, eu sempre preciso estar dentro do plano. Curva da banana foi encontrada. Podemos dizer que passamos por isso. Lembrando, Henrico, que projeto inteiro, não só o Direct Work. Depois nós temos que encontrar outra coisa. O que nós temos que encontrar? Modo 60. Shadow of Resource as preset. Considerando o agendamento mais cedo possível. Deixa eu ver. Modo 60, GR. GR não encontro aqui. Porque isso é o Gantt de atividade. Se eu for para o Gantt de recursos, botão direito, botão Ctrl pressionado, pressing Ctrl, keyboard, and clicking on the right click in the mouse, você vai encontrar duas telas. Gantt de atividades, Gantt de recursos. Gantt de atividades, Gantt de recursos. E aqui eu encontro o modo GR. Modo GR. E eu encontro nível 1, a empresa, projeto. Nível 2, eu encontro diversas informações aqui. Quantidade. Henrico, observa que nesse modo, você vê os recursos, onde helper, ajudante, indica quantity. I have 40 units. I have 40 helpers. But I need 61. There is a great difference in scheduling your work, scheduling your activities as you did, because you planned to construct and to assemble your building this way. There's a great difference when you need 61 and you have just 40. Essa é a razão porque nós temos esse modo. Quando você calcula, ele analisa quantos você tem e quantos você precisa e informa nesse gráfico overload and normal and available units. Estendendo um pouco aqui, setting, show resource availability. In green color, you see the availability resource that you are not using. On red, what you are trying to use but you don't have. In blue, what you have and what you were scheduled to work. But pay attention. Sometimes you have available resource that you don't use, and sometimes you have more units than you have. So you must rethink your planning. Of course, you could reschedule every activity for the in future periods. Instead of starting April 20th, you may start it April on 30th or May 1st. But if you do it with your own hands, you are taking too much time to finish it. Or even you are not be able to solve the situation. But esse modo permite que você entenda. Verde, tenho e não trabalham. Azul, tenho e estão trabalhando. Vermelho, não tenho e preciso deles. Isso é o modo mais cedo possível. Você fez e está dentro do gráfico de recursos. Aqui nós temos Assembler. The same graph for Assembler. Diagram. Assembler. General diagram. Okay. Assembler resource. Assembler. Quantity. Okay. Same week. Yes. Show values, okay. Okay. Not cumulative, sorry. Not cumulative. Every week. But pay attention. You have 40 units, you have 40 assemble, but you have just scheduled 30. If you apply available resource here, available, sorry, show value resource. You see, you have a red line showing 40 maximal units, and you have blue. The number of assemble you have shadows. You have no overload here. So it's not interesting to see it, but it's very interesting to have the helper to discuss with your stakeholders. If you want to have more people, or you have just to reschedule it. Just for curiosity, I will reschedule, just considering helper as a problem. General, standard, nothing more interesting adjustment here, and helper. Okay, not a reschedule because cost or material. And you have a resource helper, hammock. Okay. The problem was solved. The problem was solved because the red line means what you have. The blue bars means where they are working now. And the green area shows you the availability workforce. You have a baseline comparison. Let's see if it is the baseline. Delete results. Okay. Delete any other project's comparison. I will force the properties to consider version 420. Okay, working on baseline adjustments. Okay, material, work, resource. Okay. Now you see. There is a shade behind every taskbar. And the shades mean you scheduled in the past, but you are working in a different and future date, because you had to consider the availability of helpers to make possible having 40 units working just with 40 units. And is there any problem with the final project date? Let's see in activity Gantt. Finish project. The shade here shows us there is no delay. Looking for scroll the milestone here. There was no delay in the project's finish date because there are problems bigger than the lack of helpers. There is a problem here. There is a restriction caused by some resource called, where is it? Here. Notes. Technical and weather condition, or a special work that just arrives on the 16th, November 1st, not as soon as possible, but just in November 1st. Então, com isso, você já entendeu que o Gantt de recursos, o mais cedo possível, mostra quem está com problema. Os outros recursos não apresentam problema algum. Você está com recursos sobrando no seu projeto. Então, nesse caso, eu acho que nós podemos dizer que isso já acabou. Modo GM 104, modo 65, que seria Material Shadow. Material Shadow won't be found in Activity Gantt or Resource Gantt. Probably you'll have to look it in Material Gantt. Control keyboard pressed. You have now 3 windows opened. Material Gantt. Okay, let's see. Mode GM 104. Mode 65. Okay. Here are the material. The block A. Please note there is not a warning here. None of these materials are reddish colored because we don't fix it a limit quantity of material here. We made it in the logistic branch of our WPS. So we can't see here if there are blocks enough or if there are water enough to fulfill our projects. But it helps us to understand when we are using or receiving or assembling our block A. Pavement 1, pavement 2, in different times in schedule, and our main interest material, water and diesel. Here you have the income material and the outcome material usage. You may even sort by start date, just to make it a bit nice, beautiful to understand. By the time it happens, there is no thin neck button here. I mean, the bar stays almost with the same size, not as others with some bottleneck here. It's not thinner any time of its usage. Water and diesel are used all the time. So the GM 104 was found in your project So we can consider it done. Reddish, not yellowish, yellowish. Mode 100, not GM, not GR, mas agora na atividade, modo 100, shadow of possible and shadow of feasible. What's possible and what is feasible? Where is it? Window, activity guns, mode 100. Okay, I found it. And it shows us the moments starts net. Okay, we are receiving 2,000 liters. A negative value means we are receiving 2,000 liters, not earlier than, we have fixed a date for water incomings. Of course, for diesel too. Possible and feasible. Let's look for in the handbook to see how it was demanded for you. I got it. Aqui diz, modo 100, possível, execuível, possible and feasible. E aqui nós temos BSS, name, notes, priority, notes. Where are the fields? Results, starts. Let's see it again. Start, finish, ALAP. It was supposed to find these fields here. Reason of delay. ALAP, reason of delay. ALAP, okay. It seems that you have all things here. Então, você com esse modo tem que produzir uma apresentação. Feasible e possible. Aqui embaixo você tem diesel e água. E aqui você tem os parâmetros que previram você dizer show revenue as positive. Every time we say incoming, that's something good, blue, and outcome. Outcomes means that we're spending, consuming, so it should be representing red, like a didactic way to show it. So show revenue as positive means everything that comes in will be if positive it's good, that is available. In red is not available. Okay? Not blue, but I can fix it. Blue, 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 blue. If there was any red bar here, we could say we don't have diesel at this specific time, at this specific moment. The same for the water. I will mark here, show revenue as positive. Positive in blue means that you must set blue here. Okay, ASAP, as soon as possible. That seems that you don't have a problem here. You have water all the time. You have water coming in and water being used here. And the difference between coming in and coming out is always positive. But imagine, instead of having an income, a permanent income, a fixed income of about 2,000 liters per month, you had a problem here. People reported that instead of 20,000 liters, you would only be able to acquire 10,000 liters by month. It's not the same scenario. It's not the same first scenario you had. Rescheduling, recalculating. It is almost obvious that the water that comes into your projects is not enough to support your direct and your indirect work. That's the reason we had a stock cash flow, a stock control here. If you increase, if you ask for values without decimal points, you see that July, you won't work. It's not a question that you are working without water. You won't work because without water you can't work. In July and on August. To be more specific, you work 2 weeks in July and you have to stop working and not pretending to work. I mean, these activities here won't be done this way. It is scheduled, it is possible, but it's not feasible. Você conseguiu ajustar problemas de recursos como ajudante com a sua ferramenta. Eu vou pedir para ele ajustar o meu planejamento agora com o meu problema de ajudante. Ele ajustou, mas observa, ao ajustar o problema dos ajudantes, você também ajustou o problema de água. Aqui nesse momento, nessa semana, o consumo é muito pequeno, mas tem água. Às vezes, resolvendo um problema, ajustamos o outro. Vamos olhar de novo. Ganho de recursos. Sem problema de recursos. Ganho de materiais. No caso não é o ganho de materiais, espera aí, é o ganho de atividades. Possible feasible para água, sem problemas de água. Mas se nós tivéssemos todos os ajudantes do planeta, nós teríamos um problema na água. Essa ferramenta permite ajustar também o problema da água. Resource Schedule, not applying resource scheduling restrictions, constraints. We can ignore helpers, considering we have all the helpers that you can find in the world, but the material, specifically water, where is that? Water will be considered in and out to balance your stock flow in order to have just positive consumptions or positive stock. Okay? These reddish bars must disappear and the work will be rescheduled for a moment in the future when water is available. Not working or pretending to work without considering the lack of water. Rico, você pode ver que ele está calculando drag. Quando ele calcula esse parâmetro drag, a máquina precisa processar várias vezes esse valor drag. Isso retarda a resposta. Por isso que eu vou pausar o vídeo para não consumir tempo de exposição. Pronto, concluiu. Você pode observar, Henrico, que não existe mais a red bar here. Todas as barras são azuis. Porém, o trabalho nesse período foi reagendado para o futuro, porque não tem água. Algumas atividades foram levadas para o futuro, mas nenhuma atividade crítica sofreu. Por quê? Porque existe uma restrição aqui muito maior do que qualquer problema de água. Então aqui você pode ver que o projeto, agora o projeto é execuível. Now it's feasible, not because the helper, but because the water. We considered the in and outs of water use. On your version, Spider Desk 200, Academic Work Edition, you are not able to select cost and material section in order to balance material or even diesel. Just imagine, we are not considering the helper restriction or constraints. Okay, let's make another simulation. You know, diesel sometimes have its price higher than normal, some speculation, but imagine that you also had a crisis in diesel incomings. Instead of 8,000 liters, you would say 4,500 liters per month. Considering everything as soon as possible, regarding the lack of helper, the lack of water, let's see how diesel graph would be shown. Here, you won't have diesel enough to finish your work, but you won't have diesel enough, but you won't have really the amount of diesel you need. So instead of 450 all the time, let's change it to the same 8,000 liters per month. Let's start a calculation again. And this graph means that you will finish your work without diesel. Okay, let's make some adjustments. Remember, that's a simulation. As soon as possible, all the work to be done together. So we will have plenty of diesel and water. Please note, you are finishing your work, your projects with 2,000 liters of diesel liters in the stock, and you are having almost 40,000 liters of water left in your stock. So you have the amount of diesel and water you need, but not at the moment when you need. Let's check it. The water and the diesel in July won't be available. And on August, it seems that these moments I simulated here are bad moments in your project life. Okay, remember, you are able to balance resources like helpers, but you're not able yet to balance materials. So diesel and water and diesel. I have to solve this problem. I have to reschedule all the activities in order to have a good answer for the problem. And the good answer is in a standard mode, advanced mode, super advanced optimization mode, or super hyper. Okay, let's just have the advanced mode, and please unmark calculate drag, because it makes the calculation too slow, and the algorithm will try to present all the data it can. Let's wait for the rescheduling of work activities in order to make it blue, not red. Temos algumas mensagens aqui. Eu vou ignorar e vou pedir para reagendar. Por causa da Hammock, nós temos algumas distorções. Vamos ver? Indireto, supervision, que usa água e diesel. Então, depois nós vamos falar no final do vídeo sobre a Hammock e o algoritmo. Mas a Hammock fosse colocado, todo o projeto fosse colocado para o futuro. Vamos então eliminar o ajudante para ver se isso é resolvido o mais cedo possível. Voltamos aos nossos problemas. Sem o ajudante, vamos ver o ajuste do diesel e da água. Material, vamos ver. Mais uma vez, Henrico, não foi suficiente para o programa resolver. Então, repetindo, a Hammock, e nós vamos ver isso no final do vídeo, ela consome recursos como diesel e água. A cada momento ela muda de tamanho e a cada momento ela muda de consumo. Vou tentar tirar então todo mundo que consome água e diesel da Hammock. Materiais, Hammock, supervisão, água, diesel. Então tem mais alguém consumindo água e diesel. Provavelmente o supervisor consome água. O gerador consome diesel. Serviços gerais consomem. Então, para mostrar a solução do problema de água e diesel, eu vou retirar todos os recursos da Hammock. Só para exemplificar. Calcular o mais cedo possível. Eu não tenho mais problemas de água e diesel no nosso projeto. Então, um dos causadores do problema de água e diesel, de fato, era o trabalho realizado pelo trabalho indireto, supervisão. Ctrl Z, voltei ao normal, Ctrl Z, coloquei o ajudante, calculando o mais cedo possível. Estamos com esse cenário. O programa não consegue ajustar, e vamos ver isso no final do vídeo, mas você entendeu que o recurso de ajuste existe, automático. Ou você pode também, entendendo os meses de julho e agosto, você pode também informar que sem água não há trabalho, sem diesel não há trabalho, e você no mês de julho e agosto, você pedir mais água. São 5.000 litros. Então eu vou pedir aqui menos 15 e aqui menos 15. Calculando o mais cedo possível. O problema da água sumiu, praticamente sumiu. Tem um pouquinho aqui. E do diesel? Julho e agosto. Julho e agosto. Então eu vou pedir, quanto que eu preciso? 2.000. Vou pedir 1.000 a mais aqui. E vou pedir 1.000 a mais aqui. Lembrando, se você não tiver essas quantidades, não vai ter obra. Calculando, temos uma coisinha pouca de 200 aqui. Então eu poderia pedir aqui 5.700. Calculando. Então, de forma manual, por ajuste específico, eu peço mais recursos. Caso contrário, não teremos obra. Ou peço para que ele calcule automaticamente novos momentos onde a atividade vai acontecer. Bom, falamos muito, mas o modo 100 foi encontrado. Deixa eu marcar aqui que o modo 100 foi encontrado. PowerPoint. Já falamos sobre PowerPoint. We have just talked about PowerPoint presentation, and what we have done, just copying the screen and pasting on the slides. But now I have to make a short video commenting not the slides, not the graphics, but commenting what is necessary to make feasible our projects. I mean, we have to have more helpers. We have to restudy the water consumption, or we have to restudy the water incomes and diesel incomes time. So your PowerPoint presentation must be reviewed. Modo 105. Shadow of arrival. Okay, modo 105. Modo 105 is not here. Vamos ver em material. Modo 104. Onde está o modo 105? Material. Modo 105. Chegada de materiais. Let's look into our handbook. Modo 105. Where is modo 105? It doesn't. Modo 100. Of course. you have the version 420. Okay, where is it? We are not working on version 410 anymore. Let's open. Okay, probably we will find it. Modo 105. Let's close it. Ok. Modo 105. Not here. Remember, resource material guns with control key pressed. We have two windows. Where is modo 105? Modo 105. Modo 105. Cronograma de chegada. Shadow of arrival. Income, material incomes. Diesel fixo. Modo 110. Henrico, eu acho que você pulou. You have skipped the mode 105. Logo, eu vou pintar de vermelho. Modo 110. Modo 110, procurando no Henrico. Modo 110 está aqui. O que o modo 110 pede? Balanço de materiais. Água e diesel. Então deixa eu olhar aqui. Let's see what I have done in mode 110. Ins and outs. Here, department, testing, code, structure. Let's start from the bottom graph. Water, expenditure. Water, income. Water, in cash flow. In stock flow. Cumulative, okay, water. Month. Okay, as soon as possible. That's good for you because you have no lack of water. If I balance without considering materials and just you have separated, you have split its helpers in hammocks and not hammocks. Okay, it was not considered in our exercise, but I know what you know. Truck is a problem for you too. Okay, leveling. Supervision is also complain about that. Okay, the water seems quite good in stock flow. As soon as possible. Let's see the diesel. Diesel is consumed during the time. The diesel is notes as an income all the time. And the diesel balance, diesel stock flow means positive, seems to be positive. So we are planning your shadow. It's lucky. There is no problem. Your shadow. Let's see what I have done with your hammock. Supervision. Helper. You said you had resource split it into kinds. Helper. Helper. Let's name it helper hammock. And you said 40. My God, you are very proud of your amount of resource. Helper hammock. Okay, activity guns. Helper hammock. Okay, if you use it helper hammock, you need not to have a helper here. I mean, you may remove it. Remove, where is it? Delete. Okay. Now you have a helper for hammock. How many helpers did you use here? Quantity. quantity 1. Okay, you have 40, but you're using 1. My God. General service. Let's see. Let's shadow it again. No problem in water, in diesel. And let's consider helper. I have 40, and you just use 1, so it's not necessary to have it here. Helper hammock, helper truck. Okay, starting. No problem in waters, no problem in diesels. Okay, you know why you have fixed helper hammock. If you use helper here, properties, the common helper, resource helper, adds a resource helper. And specifically in this helper, double click here, you could say quantity I can work without helper. If there is no helper, I want to use a helper. And I could remove helper hammock here, delete, just to show something for you. 1 helper. Okay, let's shadow again. Please note this bottleneck here. Extending the graph here. If there is no help to help me here, if there is no helper to make my supervision plenty supervision, complete supervision, I want to have a helper. I dismiss a helper here. But I need a supervisor all the time. I need all the time a container. I need a generator. General services. Double click. If there is no general services, I may still work. Let's see it again. No problem with general services because you use just 1 and probably you have 40 general service quantity here. General services 40. Okay, so no reason to make variable quantity and workload here. Okay, you understood the reason of this mode, this layout, and if you want to know why things were postponed, if you want to know why things did not occur when you have shadow, you may read it here. It was postponed because the lack of resource, okay, the activity, previous activity was delayed, so you are, okay, you know why things happened here. So, okay, for your mode 110. 115, let's see, 115, yes, adjusted material scenarios. I don't remember, what does it mean? Okay, I have to link my projects to your baseline. We are using different file folders in Dropbox, so I have to make it reasonable here. What is it? Water, baseline, and water. Okay, feasible and possible. Here we have water and diesel. The lines are not so clear in colors. Diesel is purple, this baseline. Okay, let's make baseline always gray. Just a ghost. And let's make diesel always blue if positive. Okay, what does it mean here? Baseline is this way, and nowadays shadow is in blue. Let's shadow here without taking into account. Okay, truck, helper. Let's see. What do I see here? Baseline consumption of diesel. Diesel consumption baseline and diesel consumption nowadays. Okay, it's cumulative. Is it cumulative? Yes, it is cumulative. We will finish with the same amount of diesel. And here about water. Water baseline we're fixing in grayish colors. And the water, okay, blue, that's nice. Valuable 0 decimal point. Okay, we are finishing almost with the same, a little higher value, consume value here. Okay, the mode 115 was detect your work. Adjusted scenarios of project resource. Adjust work resource and equipments. Let's see, 100 adjusted scenarios of MO in Portuguese is mão de obra. I think in English could say labor. Adjust scenario for labor, resource, and equipment. It's a bit confused here, not because of yours faults, but because of the interface. Quantity, baseline. Let's remember every time I see it, I remember to say baselines should be not as a rule. It's not a rule or a standard, but should be grayish because it's not real. It's just a baseline. And quantity should be in blue if positive, just to make a standard for everybody to understand it. The reddish colors means overload. Here, settings, available quality, truck quantity, okay, helper quantity and assemble quantity. Okay, if you send it to dashboards, both of them, where is please dashboard? And you go to view diagrams and dashboards, control key presets, you are going to have it's repeated, okay? It's repeated. You are going to have some nicer graphics. They're nicer than the original one. They are a little dephased here. A little dephased here means you make it easier to read the graphic. Okay, so you completed mode 120 accordingly to our handbook. Okay, non-cumulative, okay. According to the quality criteria, you have just failed in showing your mode 105. I don't know why, but you may restore it. Hundreds. What I said? Hundreds. 5. Hundreds. 5. Not here. Not here. Not here. Okay, you are em doubt with us. Faz o modo 105. A seguir, eu vou falar sobre o algoritmo do Spider e do problema do Hammock, quando você faz uma um balanceamento de recursos que a própria Hammock consome.